What's up guys, I'm Coach Holly and I've paired up with Coach Dan today because we want to give you our 3 best tips for uphill running. We know uphill running is tough. Well, fear not, we've broken it down really simply today to tell you how you can make change quick. So I'm going to give you your form tip, your strength tip, and Coach Dan is going to finish it out with his favorite hill workout. Let's jump right in. And hey, anyone watching this who's thinking, I don't live near any hills, how am I supposed to get good at hill running? We've got you covered. You're going to see in these tips that we don't always need a hill to train strong hill running. And when you do have to get after it, we've got treadmills and we've got parking garages for that. When it comes to form on hill running, ask yourself this: how many times have you tried going up a hill with your biggest, longest steps only to find yourself completely gassed after just 30 or 45 seconds? Just like when you're in the gym, adding weight to that back squat, the more weight you add, the tougher it's going to feel against your body. The same goes for incline. The more incline we have, or the longer you're having to run up incline, the more tired you're going to feel because it's extra resistance against your body. The first time we try to run up those hills, we're trying to get the suffering to end the soonest. And what I mean by that is we're taking the biggest steps possible, trying to cover the most ground so that it ends. Eventually you start to topple over, you're leaned over, you lose your hips, they go back behind you, and you no longer have access to your glutes and hamstrings, those big muscle groups. The biggest thing to think about when you go up that hill is to take smaller steps. So what I want you guys to do is take smaller steps right under the hips rather than those big reaching steps I was talking about before. This will force you to stay upright because you'll notice if you take small steps and stay leaned over, you're gonna feel like you can't really catch your footing. You're gonna feel like you're being pulled forward, almost like you're gonna roll up the hill. It's very weird. So you're gonna do instead, push the hips forward, keep those small steps going, and then on top of it, this is the big one, driving those elbows back. This is gonna give you that extra little superpower like you see in those video games. What gives you that extra boost? It's gonna be that back elbow swing, driving the arms behind you. This keeps you moving forward, giving you that full power up versus crossing in front. So we got those small steps, those hips pushed forward, and that big arm swing. What's left is our eyes naturally fall into the horizon line. We are able to keep this form much longer up the hill. Now the evidence of this form tip working or not is gonna show up in your breathing. It's gonna be easier to breathe because you're using the bigger muscle groups and finding that more efficient form. You're gonna be putting less effort into each step and keep many small steps right under the hips, which is going to ultimately save you energy over time. So if you can breathe a little easier and take less stops going up that hill, you know it's working. The second thing we can do to make our hill running way stronger is build up those glutes and hamstrings. I told you how important they are to your form. How can we make them even better? This one strength movement that I'm gonna give you today absolutely changed the game for me. I was a different runner after I started using it. Okay guys, I had to do a little location change for this one. Hope that's okay. We're getting right into that split squat now. So find that hip width distance between the feet. You're gonna put one foot in front, one foot behind. Doesn't matter which one because you'll be doing both. And you're gonna use your same squat mechanics, hips reaching back and then pushing forward. That's really simple right there. You're gonna lay the chest over the front leg while keeping your gaze up. I shoot my hips back, dig out of that front heel and push it forward. Reach it back, push it forward. We're looking for a vertical shin. We don't want that knee pushing forward, right? That's not getting the backside that we want. That's actually putting a lot of stress on the knee joint, the ankle. It's really actually lifting the heel up off the ground, which we don't want. So very little weight on that back foot and reaching to drive out of the front heel. Get as low as you can here. You should really, really feel it in that glute. Remember to keep those abs on, breathe, and keep that gaze up on the horizon line. You'll do both sides, obviously, when you do this exercise. Now, we've got to level up on this split squat if you want it. This is gonna be the Bulgarian split squat, where we actually put the back leg up on a surface. I've got a box right here, and it's about a foot off the ground, but you can use a bench, a chair, whatever you have. Just make sure it's not so high that you're arching the back to get the leg up there. You're gonna use the same exact mechanics to get down and up in this squat. So I prop my back leg up. I find my balance right here on the front leg, and same thing. I'm gonna reach with my hips going back, lay the chest over the leg, and keep that shin vertical, not letting the knee push forward. So just like this, down and up. There are a lot of ways to coach the Bulgarian split squat. Some people actually like putting more pressure on the back leg to stabilize the hips and get you moving down and up in a little bit more of a smooth way. I like, in this case, to really make this about balancing on the individual leg, which means no weight on that back leg if you can help it. Really light touch, focusing all your efforts on driving that front knee directly over the ankle, down and up. Remember that our running is a direct result of our single leg strength. So the point of this type of strength exercise, or the split squat by itself, is to work on how do I land and make sure I have the strength laterally in the hips to land well without spending too much time on that, so I can pick up my feet quick, thus providing those quick short steps that we said in the beginning. So just keep that in mind as you're doing these. A great way to incorporate these split squats or Bulgarian split squats is doing them in sets of 10 per leg. I would go 3 sets, maybe 1 to 2 minutes of rest in between. I really recommend doing this at least twice a week and mix it up. Sometimes it might be part of your warm up for a run. Sometimes you can throw it at the end of a run or the end of a strength workout when you're already exhausted, because that's a good way to test your strength in times of really important need, right? The end of the run is where we tend to lose our form, and that's when we get injured. So practicing doing something hard when you're already tired is a really good way to build that endurance, get you stronger when it matters most.
All right, here we go with your workout. What I want you to do is think about this based on effort. So it's not heart rate based, it's not pace based, it's effort based. And I want you at 80% of your maximum effort. In other words, I want you going pretty hard, not all out, but I really want you working. You're gonna do a pyramid based on time. Your first set is gonna be 30 seconds. So you're gonna run 30 seconds up that hill at 80%. Then you're gonna run 60 seconds. Your third run is 90 seconds. Then we're going to do the same thing in reverse. So your fourth set is going to be 90 seconds, then 60 seconds, and then 30 seconds. But here's the thing you've got to keep in mind. A ton of rest in between every single set. In order for you to get maximum benefit on this, you've got to give yourself at least 2 minutes between these sets. Longer if you feel like you need it. Don't run the next set until you know you're ready to go, so that heart rate comes down. The other things you want to keep in mind, just like Holly said, you want to keep those steps small and short. You want to make sure you're working hard to keep your posture upright. If you're hinged, it's at the ankles, not at the hips. And you're concentrating, if you need a cue, like a physical cue to think about, it's driving your elbows back as you move up the hill. You do all of those things for the set, right? So 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 90 seconds, 60 seconds, 30 seconds. And then that last one, if you got anything left at the tank, leave it here on the hills. I tend to do this on at least a 15% grade. That's what it is right behind me right now. And if you're like me, maybe you want to do this workout at night with your headlamp on, just so nobody sees you cry. All right, I just finished my last set and my legs are torched. That's it for me today. Time for a little rest before tomorrow's workout.
I love that workout Dan just gave you guys. And if you're looking for more just like it, click right over here for a 15-minute follow along hill workout that I take you through. Some great views in there. You can kind of zone out, just follow along. Treadmill or outdoors will work. I will see you guys in there. Have a great one.